guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Tampa Honda, and guess what? We have that one small size sedan that's bringing some big MPG. Is this vehicle right here. This is the return of the 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid. But before we get into this top sport touring trim, let's talk about what's going on here. So like I said, the return. Once upon a time, Honda already had a Civic Hybrid, and then they backed away from it because of overall sales and what fuel prices were doing in the early 2000s. Now, back again in a totally different wrapper, but also still bringing that supreme fuel efficiency. Now, in this segment, there's not many compact sedans, first of all, left. Second of all, that are hybrids. Of course, you have the two main competitors, which would be the Civic and the Corolla. Also, Hyundai with their Elantra has a hybrid. But what I want to find out is, does the Civic do the compact sedan fuel sipping the best? Let's go ahead. Let's dive in our Meteor Gray. That's the name of the color, Meteor Gray, and find out. Right off the bat, it's just a classy color. It really goes well with the overall dimensions of this new Civic. And remember, for 2025, all Civics, including the internal combustion engine, the ICE versions, are getting a refresh that has similar style to this. Now, at the front of the business, you're still getting, especially on the sport touring trim, all LED lighting, LED turn signals, daytime running lamps, and those LED headlights. Working our way down, here's some of that revision that you find on all the Civics, but this one in the Meteor Gray has the functional corner air curtain. I like the way they have this flat black splitter that extends out. And remember, this is for aerodynamic efficiency because hybrid technology, we're trying to get extra MPGs. One way to do that is with a slippery shape that cuts through the air like a hot knife through butter. Now, as we come across the front, you see a continuation of the revised grille and bumper. So on a sport touring, it's gloss black, that honeycomb grille design. Of course, you're gonna have that Honda badge. Down below, they went flat black, and I'm okay with that because it's lower to the ground. It's gonna take a better beating. And I don't know, there's just some vehicles that if you put too much gloss black, it just kills the look of it. Now, what's fascinating with the revision that they did, they sort of made it look, at least this lower grille area, a little bit like a Corolla. But it still has those other distinctive touches that makes a Civic a Civic. And of course, you have that lower lip extension, which is body color in the center. Now, as we rise up, nice angle to bring that air over the hood. Hood is the same as last model year. And then coming around the bend, on the hybrid Civic, we have specific wheels and tires. So what you're gonna find are these satin gray aluminum wheels machined on the exterior. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the size of this wheel? You're basically looking at an 18-inch wheel, which I know a lot of people are like, well, why didn't they do 19? Why didn't they do 20? That actually cuts down on your MPG return, the larger the wheel you have. But of course, still only front wheel drive. The Corolla, if you want all-wheel drive and a hybrid, that is the way to go. Now, the overall tires size is going to be 235 on the width, 40 series sidewall, and you do have, of course, regen braking to regenerate power to the battery. It's a lithium-ion battery pack. And wait until you hear about power because it's going to surprise you, I guarantee you that. Now, coming down the side, gloss black on the mirror caps, LED turn signals, and then up top you'll notice we have a standard size sunroof. Let me know if that should be a zonk if you're expecting on this top sport touring trim to have a panoramic sunroof. Lower side sill extension comes down nicely. You have color match on the door handles. Working our way towards the rear, there are a few slight changes. So as we swing around back, they basically smoked the rear taillights a little bit and the reverse light lenses. The big zonk though, what the hell is going on there? Old-fashioned Thomas Edison light bulb, that needs to be LED ASAP because this is a new 2025 model and we have light bulbs. You got your Honda badge, of course, and then working your way down, you have the hybrid badge. Let everybody know that you're fuel sipping. Sport Touring is the top trim. And then working our way down to ground level, what's nice is everything is body colored except just a little bit of flat black. I'm okay with that because this isn't meant to be like some kind of race car. It's not like a Type R competitor or anything like that. But like I said, I think a lot of people are starting to appreciate, if they haven't already, the style of the Civic compared to its bigger brother, the Honda Accord, because I'm still trying to figure out what the hell Honda did with that overall design. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk nitty gritty on this hybrid Civic. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. The Civic's had a prop rod since the 1970s when it was born. What you're gonna see is that traditional inline four with the simple engine cover and that Honda logo, but what is new is all of that orange, especially on the driver's side. We have that hybrid setup. So what are we looking at exactly? What you are witnessing is a 2-liter inline four that's paired to a new generation of hybrid electric motor technology to give us 200 horsepower, 232 pound-feet of torque. It is linked to a 1.1 kilowatt lithium ion battery pack, and it has direct drive. It's not a CVT, it's actually direct drive off the electric motor. 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds flat. Top speed is governed to 114 miles an hour. The vehicle weighs 3,225 pounds, but here it comes. Get ready for it. 50 mpgs in the city and 47 on the highway. Let that like soak in a little bit. Chew on it like you would a piece of really tough beef jerky, because this isn't a base model. Normally, like you look at the Toyota Corolla, depending on what trim you go with on the hybrid, some get better MPGs than others. This is the top trim and it gets 50 MPGs in the city. That's pretty freaking mind-blowing. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire this up and see it roll. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid, this one being the Sport Touring. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I need a daily driver. I need usable space. I definitely don't want an Accord. I don't like it, but I do like the Civic, especially now that it's a hybrid. How much is it? MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, is right around $32,000 and change. Let's see what Honda's bringing for 2025 in this hybrid. To the door panels. First time ever on a Civic, you got two-tone interior. I'm loving that light gray with the dark black accents, just a little bit of gloss black. You're not going to be touching it. Around the window controls and door locks, that's actually anti-fingerprint material, believe it or not. And that armrest is as soft as a roll of Charmin toilet paper. Now, the door pocket is a medium, mild to medium size. So I'm thinking maybe just 2 beef and cheddars and a Dr. Pepper to wash it down, and some curly fries, of course. Can't forget the curly fries if you're going to Arby's. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, we got the Bose sound system. Some more of that gloss black, but you're not going to be touching it. My mom had a rule. If you don't want fingerprints on gloss black, don't touch it. Love still the honeycomb wire mesh for hiding the AC vents. And then you slide on in, we have for the first time, not the 9-inch. The 9-inch is not new to the Civic. What is new is that we have the 9-inch infotainment system, but now the Google package. So you got your Google Maps, Google Assistant, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, all the familiar apps and icons that you're used to. Of course, we have a nice full color power flow display because this is a hybrid. When you throw it in reverse, that's when I want to get some of that Charmin toilet paper and dry the tears coming from my eyes. That's a zonk. This backup camera is just ridiculous. It's too grainy. It just, yeah, you can switch the angle a little bit, but it's just way too grainy. And you do have trajectory, which is nice, but it's literally like as if somebody punched you in both eyes and you're trying to see at the same time as your lid is getting all swollen. Not really a good idea. Down below, you do have 3 stages of heated seats, No ventilated seats in a Civic, period. You got your wonderful knobs and controls, dual climate, work your way down, USB-Cs, 2 of them, a 12-volt wireless charging. This is going to control your direct drive transmission, and it does have simulated shifts. Drive mode selector switch, 2 cup holders, same Honda key fob. It works. I have it technically upside down. Remote start, more of that anti-alias. No fingerprints. Look at that, getting it all over. Soft touch with the stitching. Open it up. You got enough room in there. If you're done with your Arby's, you can literally get one of those small, like 4-piece chicken boxes from KFC. Couple drumsticks, couple wings. Maybe if you really want to spoil yourself, you can get a breast or 2. I know some people out there that love breasts. It's the white meat. That's what they want. Who am I to say? Leather interior, like I said, the light seats, looks great, nice bolstering, electric assist for the passenger, electric assist for the driver, and we have that standard size sunroof. I wish it was panoramic, so I am gonna zonk that. But once you come over to the business end, I got one of the great steering wheels that I've ever rubbed my hands on. Yes, in a Honda Civic, coming over. All right, guys, behind the wheel, business end. Now, you do have your power seat controls. The zonk that I have for these seats, no memory seat setting. Would have been at least nice on the driver's side. Wouldn't you agree? Let me know in the comment section. But I'm 6 feet tall, and like I said, don't think anymore compact as being small and tight. There's plenty of room in here. Even in the pedal box, you have a nice aluminum brake pedal, throttle. Just that dead pedal's sad. Give me an aluminum dead pedal, please, ASAP. But the seats are comfy. Steering wheel, like I said, you're gonna wanna rub your hands all over. It's got nice leather, great stitching, a little bit of silver trim, flat black on the switchgear. You got paddles to adjust the regen braking, which is really cool. It is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you have that digital display in the center that, of course, changes when you go into your different modes. So nice to even have individual mode, which is perfect for setting it up exactly the way you want. And don't even ask me, there is not a HUD. There's no head-up display in here. But let's get in the back seat because there's a battery pack that your passengers are going to be sitting on. I hope they're still able to have kids after they sit back there. Let's go ahead and find out. Come on in. And don't worry, it doesn't feel like a microwave back here. You're still going to be able to have children if you choose to do so. I am sitting on the battery pack, and the great news is there's still plenty of room. Get ready for me to drop the atomic zonk on this vehicle. So this is a $32,000 Honda Civic. This is a 2025 model year vehicle. What the heck is going on here? This is a major zonk. No rear AC vents, no USB-A's, no USB-C's, no 12-volt. There's not even 2 cans and a piece of string for me to talk to anybody back here. That to me is just a little ridiculous. So my advice, use this pocket and have it stocked up like you would a doctor or a dentist's office with magazines, because if your passengers' phones die, they're gonna be bored as hell and you're gonna wanna entertain them. It's the nice thing to do. What is nice for them back here, though, is they have this suit. I mean, it's like a pillow. I think Steven actually has a Honda Civic pillow that actually is just as soft as this armrest. 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the trunk, because I want to take you for a spin in this hybrid. All right, guys, time to get in the trunk. What's wonderful is, based off of where that battery pack is located, you're not skimping on trunk space. Even though this is a compact sedan, 15 cubic feet of space. You'll notice how the rear seats fold down 60-40 split. And you're gonna fold those seats by pulling on the handles back here. I know a lot of people wanna know, is there a spare? Unfortunately, on the hybrid, there is no spare. You can option one in extra, but there's no spare that you could get straight from the factory. Obviously trying to cut down on some of the weight. But why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's see if we could drive this all the way to Key West from Tampa on 1 tank of gas. Let's get to it. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid Sport Touring. I do have it in sport mode just to give a little bit quicker throttle response and steering response. The dash, like before, is very easy to read. And of course, you have that 9-inch infotainment system that is well within reach on top of that, with the power flow display. And when you really think about it, this thing has just as much horsepower as a Civic Si and more torque, which is incredible. Like I said, you could use the paddles. If you notice, I'm hitting the paddles. I'm increasing my regen braking. That's max regen braking. And you could also lessen it. There is no one pedal operation, driving operation with this vehicle. So just something to be aware of. It's not a full EV, remember, this is a hybrid. Seats are super comfy. I like the lighter interior because a lot of times when you have everything black, things just kind of get lost in the shuffle. But having the room in here, you got your wireless charging, tons of USB-Cs, and great visibility is fantastic. Gotta honk the horn works, so we're good there. I'm gonna make a U-turn, and then we're gonna go on throttle. You ready? On throttle, here we go. Simulated shifts. Because it is a direct drive transmission, it does operate way better than a CVT. So with that new hybrid technology and the motors, they're able to use direct drive, which is instantaneous from the torque. And that's one of the things you got to remember. In low speed driving, when you go to accelerate, you're going to get instant torque from that motor, which really does give you a nice little kind of push into your seat. But the great news is that you're going to be able to maximize your MPGs. It's super rock solid quiet in here. Built very well. All the materials, everything feels great in here. And Honda does an awesome job with their overall driving dynamics, especially steering. But when you get on the brakes, that's gonna show in your charge gauge that you are getting charged to the battery, and it shows on your power flow display there. And then you have your digital bar readouts for fuel and battery life, which is great too. So they have it very well organized. You could change the information in the center of the speedometer very easily, because you just scroll with the thumb wheel drive control on the steering wheel and you could see the information as it's displayed. But there is no tach, of course. You have a charge gauge, which you can scroll through information in that as well. So they got you covered there when it comes to information on the screen. But as you can see, we're sitting here. All you hear is just a little bit of fan motor. It's very, very quiet, very smooth. The operation of engine on and engine off is very smooth, and you're not getting like a herky-jerky situation where the engine turns on and then turns off real quickly. Pulling away from the light, like I said, having that instant torque from the motor not only gives you the oomph that you want off the line, but it also keeps things nice and smooth, which is great. But as you can see, going down this road, it just soaks up bumps very nicely and does a great job of keeping everything smooth. Getting back onto the brakes, I'll add some more regen braking. Just a system, an easy system to use on top of that. That's another thing that you have to remember, is just the ease of use of this system is what also makes it better, I think, than the competition. On throttle. But like I said, with the simulated shifts, it helps give it a little bit more natural driving experience, and cuts down on any loud noise coming from the engine. But I mean, the fact that you're gonna get 50 MPGs in this vehicle is just phenomenal. I mean, it's out of control just how good that number is. All right, guys, gonna make another U-turn here. I mean, this car has always been known for being such a good daily driver, driving around city streets, even tighter than these. I mean, the dimensions of the car are still a good size overall, but just very impressed with what they have done with this vehicle. Not just from fuel economy, but also the interior, the driving experience. You got your Google Assistant and Google Maps, which I'll go back to home here and bring that up for you real quick. There we are, going down Florida Avenue. But we're gonna get back to Tampa Honda and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways here at Tampa Honda. Definitely got to thank Sam, rest of the team, getting us access to this 2025 Civic Hybrid Sport Touring, all new, back again, but in a different shape and size and fuel economy. Let me know what you think, though. Does this do compact sedan the best over the competition? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Reds family. Gotta give it up to Stephen Flood. He comes from the north, he comes from the south. He'll show up wherever we are, no matter how isolated the destination location is. So show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.